Hey there, welcome back to my channel, LeeBeeBuilds. My name is Aaliyah. This is Cami, and she just came in right as I was about to start filming this voiceover, so I figured she can make a little appearance. Yes, she's so cute, isn't she? Anyways, welcome back to my channel. Today I've got another speed build for you. I have decided to renovate the Feng Apartment in San Myshuno. So this apartment is huge. Let's just say that. It's massive. And honestly, like, I thought it was a lot smaller than it was when I had started it. I was like, this is gonna be a quick build, or furnish, I suppose. But then honestly, like, it took forever. I cut out a lot of the floor planning, which it won't seem like it as you're watching this, but I cut out a lot of it because I went back on my decisions and like deleted everything like so many times. So I figured why include it all? But it honestly took me forever because, like, obviously you can't change the window placements, and so it was messing up where I wanted walls. And also I just didn't know exactly, like, I wanted to keep that like opening on the top level that looks down into the living area below, and I definitely made it a lot smaller than it was originally to begin with. But yeah, so basically what I wanted to do with this apartment was I just have been wanting to kind of slowly renovate every like house or apartment, very slowly, but renovate them slowly in The Sims. Every now and then you will see a renovation on my channel. I've done some in the past, including the 19 Culpeper apartment renovation, and I've done the Daisy Hovel renovation. That's the house, one of the starter homes in Willow Creek. I think that's all the ones I've done so far on my channel. Comment if I'm wrong. Do I know my own channel? Who knows? But anyways, this video here is for the Feng family. That's Victor and Lily. It's Lily. Victor and Lily Feng, they are married and they are both very like ambitious and very like high up in the world. Like, they've got the money, like they live in this is the Landgraab building in San Myshuno, so they've definitely got the moolah, just to say. And so I wanted their apartment to really reflect who they are as people. And originally their apartment was very white and black, so I did keep a lot of that element to this house, but I wanted to make it a little more homey and a little less just like a white and black challenge is what it kind of felt like. So I decided to go with a vibe that was like a modern slash traditional kind of vibe. So you can see in the entryway, you can see that the wallpaper is a little more traditional, that like there's a side table in there that's a little more traditional, but then there's another table that's a little more modern. And throughout the house you'll see a really like blended mix of modern and traditional aspects, just because it feels a little more realistic and it feels a little more high status, in my opinion. I don't think fully modern is necessarily like the image of high status that I have in my mind, especially because I've been watching Gossip Girl, which is kind of a weird thing for me to watch. I'm not really into those kind of shows, but I have been watching it. And a lot of their like houses or like apartments or whatever, other than like the Humphrey household, other than them, all their houses are like a mix of that modern and old kind of charm, blending it together. And so that's kind of what I wanted to give the Feng household, because I felt like they would have that similar high status like vibe, if that makes sense. So Lily is a businesswoman and Victor is a politician, and so both of them, they're very like into everything. They know everything about San Myshuno. They run everything basically. Like, she's a CEO and he's like, I don't know what kind of level politician, but he's a politician, so he's got to be pretty important. in their like description, it says they're not interested in a family. Like this is like what they had imagined for life and they're living. This is what they wanted. And I was like, okay, great, cool. So I didn't like renovate this to make it a family home. Like, no, I renovated it to be for them. So this house has like a large, beautiful kitchen that is out looking over like the living room and dining room, and is open to all those big windows that look out over the city. I wanted to keep that like beautiful, like luxury vibe that you would attain at that level of status in the world. I also gave them both an office because I figured that like maybe if you're like that high status, you would start having like meetings at home. So you'll see later on, but I do add like they each have their own office upstairs, but then there's like a little waiting room area outside of the offices with a little kitchenette. So I thought that maybe like they would have like meetings at home and people would come over, sit, wait in the chairs, maybe grab a coffee or a little like fruit from the kitchenette, sorry. And that way they don't have to enter like the personal space of the house, but they could still like come in and get their meeting done. And so they each have their own office that is personalized kind of to them, but they're both very like basic offices. They're not that big, just because I wanted to have room for 2 bedrooms in this apartment. So there are 2 like master bedrooms basically. I didn't fully decide which one I thought would be best for them. There is the one down here, which if that was the one they used, it would make a lot of sense to keep their private and business lives separate. Private stuff would be all on the main floor, and their business with their office and stuff would be upstairs. But then like the bedroom that's upstairs is a little more what I had in mind for them, in that it has like a walk-through closet into the bathroom. And so I don't know, that seems a little more luxurious in my mind, but I don't know, it really could be played either way. And if you were to play with these Sims, if they were to like have marriage problems or something, like there are 2 bedrooms, so there's options. I didn't want to give more than 2 bedrooms just because they aren't a family household, so I didn't want to kind of like design their house around the idea that they were gonna have a family, because that's not what they want. That's not what these Sims want, so that's not what I gave them. I gave them 2 offices and a fitness area and 2 bedrooms instead of like 4 or 5 bedrooms and some just for kids. Like that just doesn't make sense for them. And like I said, this is a renovation for these Sims. It's not a renovation just for the sake of renovating an apartment. But yeah, I really love how the main living area turned out. I love the kitchen, and the living room I like a lot too. I feel like it's very modern and some traditional elements with the couches, because I have 2 of the very modern couches and then 1 of those like leather couches, and I thought that it looked really nice together. That's just my opinion. And then like the kitchen like is full cabinets, like it's huge, and double fridge, like it's just showing how wealthy they are. So this here is actually the first bedroom in the apartment, and it is just like very like gray blue. There's like a bookcase, some seating, obviously the bed, and there me realizing right now there is no dresser, but I don't think in The Sims 4 for functionality, I don't think it matters all that much. So I suppose this one I kind of designed more as the guest bedroom than the upstairs one, which is, I think I designed more for their like for them. So this being the guest bedroom, like there's this little seating area with some books so that if their guests wanted to like sit down, chillax, read a book, they can. They have the space for that. And they also have like a really nice view because of all the windows. They get some privacy because this is the only room that has curtains in the entire apartment. So they get the privacy. But I didn't want to obstruct the views too much. That's why this is the only room that has curtains. that's why that happened, in case you're wondering. I just like, the views were amazing. You'll see in the screenshots, but it ended up being like right into from evening to nighttime. So as the sun's setting, that's when I was taking the photos, and it just looks so pretty. Oh man, honestly, like views like that or sunsets like that, perfect. There's 3 bathrooms because there's one next to the offices upstairs that I kind of had in mind as like, it's a half bath, so it's just a toilet and a sink, but I kind of had in mind that it would be a place for their like business guests to use if they were to come on for like a meeting or like an afternoon of meetings or something. They would have a chance to go take the bathroom. So that's kind of the story I was telling with this apartment, was that it's a really like live-in place where they can work from home, because you know, like in the times we are as people are living in right now, working from home is essential. And so I wanted to give our Sims the same treatment. I suppose, I guess that's how I could explain my reasoning for that, but I just thought it was a little more realistic. So that does mean though that there are 2 computers, so make sure you lock those doors when you have people over, otherwise they're gonna be upstairs in your office, because 2 computers are pretty enticing to Sims visiting. And so you can see here how I have like the like seating area outside of the 2 offices, and the one on the far left closest to the bathroom is designed more so for Lily, with her like sales kind of vibe in there. And then in the first one closest to the sitting room is designed for Victor, and he has like that little like pie chart to show kind of like what I imagine as demographics for whatever politic thing he's going through. It is supposed to be like for sales or in the business degree, that's what it like gets unlocked with, but like my idea was more so that it was like for demographics, as he's like a politician, and it's kind of good to know like different demographics for any issue you may be facing as like a leader in your practice. I also just wanted to talk a little bit about recording. I'm trying a new way of recording my voiceover and face cam. I'm doing it separately from my speed build footage, because before I would just like talk while watching the speed build footage, and I am watching it now, but it's not like my face is overlaid on top of it. I'm gonna do it separately in the editing process. So I mean, if you're hearing this, it means it worked and it's all good. But if you're not hearing this, then, well, you won't be hearing this. But yeah, I'm trying out something new, and I just wanted to try to get the best way to do speed build voiceovers and without like, because a lot of the time I found that I was messing up right at the end of the video when I was supposed to be like, oh shoot, I have to say like thanks for watching, and I would always like forget, and then I would run out of time and then the footage would end, and then I'm like still talking, and in the editing it just was really difficult because I don't want to be talking during the screenshots. So there was a few times I had to like redo it completely. Like if it was a 20-minute video or something, I'd have to do 20 more minutes of voiceover just to fix it. So right now I'm just trying like doing it separately and then putting it together later, and like editing the voice and my face separately. Which means I guess for this video I will end up talking a little bit longer than the video requires, just so that I could like edit it down. Let me know in the comments down below what you do for editing, if you are a simmer YouTuber specifically for speed builds. Like I understand like doing the overlay for Let's Plays makes a lot more sense, just because like you're doing it in the moment, but doing a voiceover after the fact is a little different. It's an afterthought. If you do speed builds, let me know down below what your process is for editing. So this here is the second bedroom that I had made for this apartment, and it is designed as their master bedroom. I kind of wish I had flipped the furnishing around and made the furnishing I used for this bedroom for the one downstairs and like flipped it, but I still think it looks good. I just don't know if it's necessarily their vibe. I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, they can live in either of the rooms. Like, I basically just had 2 bedrooms for the sake of having 2 bedrooms. Like, having an apartment this big would be kind of ridiculous not to have 2 bedrooms at least. And they have like their own full bathroom, and it's pretty large, and it has like a closet for both of them that's like kind of as you walk into the bathroom. And overall, I think this build turned out really well because I think it really fits them as people, and it's a little more homey, I would imagine, than the original build, because like I said, the original build was very black and white, and it still is in this, but I think I brought a lot more browns into it to make it so that it's a little more warm and comforting rather than just like cold, stark black and white, just to like kind of bring them down to earth a little bit. Anyways, I just wanted to thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you in my future videos. If you haven't already, please hit that like button, leave a comment down below letting me know what you think, and if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. See you next time. Bye-bye.